This will be a short demo of our fixed asset solution for Dynamics GP. We utilize the Dynamics GP database to be able to still manage your assets as in the single database with GP. We physically track the assets from the handheld. The first transaction I'm going to quickly show you is the associate asset transaction. If you have existing assets already set up in Dynamics, you can associate the asset label, which is the barcode representation for that asset, in this screen. We do have a number of filters, including a serial number filter, so if you're storing serial numbers as part of your asset record, you can simply scan that serial number and it will immediately bring up and find that asset ID to make that asset association very simple and very fast. The add asset transaction is just that. We're going to add new asset records. We also can we do support receiving against purchase orders. If you have purchase orders in Dynamics identified as capital line items, we will have the ability to complete the receiving transaction as well as creating that new asset record. We recommend purchasing pre-printed barcode labels that you can then affix to your assets. Then you would simply scan that asset label and then enter in the appropriate information here, including, as I mentioned, receiving against a purchase order. Once I go ahead and select my items from my purchase order, I'm going to scan my associated serial number, and then I can also apply these additional information, and these are all optional fields that can be completed. So I can do a short name, I can do a model, I can assign the current facility. That also is an option to default that if you'd like. I can assign physical location, structure, master asset, custodian, as well as the 15 user definable fields that you can set up for assets, and those are also all available as part of your update transaction. So if you have that information that you want to update at a later point, you can do that at that point. Going on to my next asset for adding, as you can see, we pre-populated everything that was captured on the previous asset. Just the asset label and serial number will be unique. So if you're adding a number of the same assets, it's very quick and efficient to add assets without having to re-enter in all the redundant information from the previous one that was set up. Once you're going on to the next type of asset, you can clear your defaults. System defaults stay intact. Update asset is just that. You're going to update existing assets, including the ones that were just created. So I can go ahead and scan that asset. I'm going to be able to see the current information and the current assignments to that asset record. I can go ahead and enter in the additional information and assignments for that. The custodian does support both the employee lookup as well as being able to type in just information. So if you're tracking by customer or anything like that, you can actually enter in something other than that employee ID. And again, those user definable fields are also available here to be able to make assignments accordingly. Then that's going to also update that asset record to the changes made from the handheld. The validate asset is going to be going through and validating assets based on a specific location. So I'm going to be able to select and scan my location that I'm completing, and then walk around and scan all the assets. As I'm finding those assets, it's going to automatically just simply record the current date that I've scanned them. If I do scan or select an asset that's out of place, it's going to provide or give me the information that that asset was actually in this location. I can update that asset record from this point, or I can just simply record an exception message that I found this out of place. As the user on the handheld does also have access to see what they should be finding in that location. So here's a list of all the assets. I can tap on any of these fields or any of these assets to display more information, including the serial numbers. Maybe this is checked out to a custodian, that's why it's not here to assign it. And I can also filter this, so I only want to see assets that I have not scanned today or in the last week. I can actually filter this so I know these are my assets that I'm missing before I think that I'm finished with that location. We do then update Dynamics again on the validated date and who completed that validation, and then using Smart List reports, you can create a lot of flexibility in creating lists or creating your reports on those validations that were just completed. If you have any additional questions, or if you would like to have a more in-depth demo of our solution to see how it works, please contact Panatrack.